This video will conclude the lesson about the Big Six research model. Again, my name is Mrs. Simzak, and the purpose of this lesson is to review what you learned about the Big Six model. You learned this because it will help you to do research. You will know you learned it when you can identify the steps of the Big Six model and apply them in your own research. The purpose of this handout is to show you all of the steps of the Big Six model and explain each step of the process on one page. At the bottom of the page, there are additional resources that include the Big Six website, which has several additional resources, pictures, and outlines to show you the process and examples. There's also a game for you to practice identifying and answering questions about each step of the process. Additionally, there is an outline that I have included, an article about how the Big Six will help your grades, a checklist, and an additional presentation that explains the Super 3. So to review, the first step of the Big Six process is the task definition. In this step, you will identify your task, topic, or problem. Once you have your topic, you will write questions that you can research. These questions should begin with why or how. You should not be able to answer your research questions with a yes or no answer. You will need to spend time looking at different sources to find the answers to your questions. At this step, it will help you to identify the key words or words you could use to search for information on your topic. The next step is information seeking strategies. In this step, you need to determine what sources you can use, such as books, articles, online resources, podcasts, etc. These sources should be closely related to your topic or keywords you identified in the last step. You should also be able to find the answers to your research questions in your sources. You should include several options and choices that you can look through. The next step is to locate and access the resources, where you can find the information you are looking for. Examples include the school library, public library, online, or somewhere else. When you find these resources, what will you look at to find the answers to your questions? For example, text features such as table of contents, headings, pictures and captions, etc. Use information is the next step. In this step, you will read or view your sources, but first you want to predict what you will find in each source. As you read, watch, or listen, you will want to pay attention to the main idea or the most important information from the source and the key details. Do not forget to look for information that helps you answer your research questions. You will need to take notes during this important step of the research process. Now that you have reviewed your sources and taken notes on the most important information, it is time for you to put it all together to answer your research questions in the synthesis step. Think about who your audience is. For example, if it is a presentation to younger kids, you want your language to be simple. But if it is for an adult, you want to sound more formal. At this point, you also want to think about what tools you will use to present your information, such as a Google Slides presentation, video, poster, etc., so that it makes sense and appeals to your audience. The final step in this process is to evaluate or judge your presentation and product to determine if you answered your research questions and shared the most important information about your topic. Then you will judge your experience with following the steps by reflecting on what went well or what you could improve on for next time. In conclusion, the Big Six is a process that teaches you how to conduct research. This presentation shared a handout that outlines all of the steps and includes additional resources. When participating in the Big Six research process, you will determine the topic, decide where to find information, look for information and view the resources, determine the main ideas of the resources, organize your thoughts into a presentation, and finally, judge your product and the process you went through. That concludes this presentation about the Big Six process.